So I had the experience of working with, I wouldn't say, I'm working for Galen, but I had a tutor in Garfield Weston. And I spent many, many a Sunday down in a place called Bardstown Castle. And we would walk the thing, and he'd be talking to me, he'd be talking about Beaverbrook. He sponsored planes, the Spitfires were shot down. And I'm just there as a boy, I'm 29, 30. And I had Charlie Clore, and I'm actually talking to the equivalent, the Silver Fox, as he was known in the North American world. And I never had, I always remember, he approached me with an American approach. I want to give you a contract. I said, I don't want a contract because I don't know whether I can do the job or not, but I'll tell you in 3 or 4 months. So I always remember, and these are things that bind people together, he walked around this table to me and he said, I like you, you're strong. Now, that was me kind of, like me talking to my daughter, get something done, you understand? And then I evolved on with Galen, and I don't think I've ever had a dispute. Pay rises were difficult, but we set on a road. The first thing that was totally new, and if I can say it respectfully, we started to own properties instead of leasing them. And I would be very emotionally involved with Mary Street, because on my first Saturday, an innocent in the north side from the south side, in my previous life I was in Georgia Street, very nice, children come in, everything is orderly, it's quite different on the south side. So I was standing in the doorway with Hilary Weston and Galen on my first Saturday. Brisk time of the day, 11:15, clean, this is good for shopping, a bit of flu around, I like it. Mufflers, gloves, chimblades, this is for us. And as we were standing on the street, in the doorway, you're going to understand the way Dublin was. There was a full-blown football match taking place in Mary Street. And I mean, 2 coats down there, and the guys were killing themselves. So this is welcome to the north side, and because there was no customers, and everybody said if we were up at Roach's stores, it would be different. So, you know, and well, there's various answers to that, but so anyway, we built the business, we got it going, we dismantled the formula, and we got it going to where it is. And then we did 2 or 3 things that happened in my life. Everything focuses in this particular stretch of land. I was standing in the doorway last Saturday, and I was thinking of tonight. I was standing in next doorway looking across at this thing. And, well, the first signal we got that there was a bit of action was after the football match, maybe 12, 15 weeks later, you heard a busker outside. Well, a busker means footfall, a busker means coins. This is a signal. This is a signal from Gabriel or somebody. We are getting busy. You know, buskers don't stand outside empty stores. Anyway, but then you start, look, then we had the trade going. Like, we had no money, but we got the trade going on skins and got it going on work like dogs. And then certain things started to happen. We're becoming, and I went to a publican's drink night out or whatever you call it, and I was sitting alongside the city manager. First of all, nobody drank, I may add, at a publican's night out, which is quite strange. But anyway, I was sitting alongside him, and they were pedestrianised Henry Street, and they were swinging left into Abbey Street. I said, what's happening to us down there? He said, well, where are you? Mary Street. I said, we're next door. So I said, look, I'll do my strip, 22,000. And I phoned Marcus Seif in Marks the following morning. I said, look, I put you in for 32,000 for the front. Will you do it? He said, who are you? I said, I explained. He said, it's a great idea. So I said, we organized somebody to collect the money off the rest. I don't think we ever got it, but we pedestrianized Mary Street. And then we had a master plan to close it in, which I'm still on 30 years later. And then, as the thing progressed, Parnell Street, which you took your life in your hands if you went out there after 6:05, is now totally different. There's apartment blocks, and Bridget Donoghue, and I'm just taking 50% of it, she twisted someone's arm. Anyway, we've a taxi rank outside the back door. And I have simple taste. I stand at that door and I watch the ranks going, boom, 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 and the customers. And the satisfaction I get out of that simple thing. Yes, but we're back all the time to looking after the customers. And the other place I would be very, very emotionally involved with would be Derby. We are very, very good at picking locations. We were around 2 corners and we had a bus stop. And everybody else was around there, and we had Huey Green opening it. And after that, you just took your chances. We're now in the main street 30 years later. Then we went on to Bristol, which opened up the whole world to us. And eventually, after 10 years talking to Gary Weston and Peter Jackson's watch, which we hit Spain, and then it was all downhill. But I really want to come back to that word opportunity, because in my time there was no opportunity other than to get out, whether you're going to Hong Kong police, I'm repeating myself. And we have acquired, Paul Merchant set up an international buying office based outside in Parnell Street. And we just bought the freehold on the cheap, I hope. But in that office, and all night I hear it, and I'm very, very much an Irishman. All night I hear it. In that office today, they're coming with their wares from all over the world, and we are going out searching for goods from all over the world. But in that office, we have Spanish, English, Germans on training, and that is an international people's office. It is no longer an Irish company as we set out in that journey, like the flight of the Gaels. And I'm working all these angles, the wild geese, you name it, I've been on it, trying to sell Ireland. But today, the opportunities that are in Primark Pennies, Primark Reading, Pennies Ireland. And we're doing simple things. Bridget Donoghue and I one night, not in the Shelbourne, we were in another hostelry. We opened up, we came across an idea, we start Spanish classes. So Bridge has found people, a lecturer in Trinity, and we hold Spanish classes, I think it's once or twice a week, and we're now starting German. And we are looking for people, committed people. Not, the first failing is, if you want to be home for your tea, don't call. You know, you get home and you need a very strong partner. My wife has never, ever asked me where I've been. I just come and I go. Weekends we might have a few words, looking for money usually. But I would really say to you, Galen Weston, Gary, the late Gary Weston, the late Garfield Weston, who gave Barristown Castle to this country, by the way. When I read all this stuff, and I'm very sympathetic what's going on, but I don't think the W's ever get the credit for what they've done in this country. They put money into this country when it wasn't a place to go. We have responded and delivered, and you can be very proud, Galen, that your people, you're more than getting your return for what you're doing for the Irish society. We are training people who, Bridge tells me, we can go into any country and we can we can outperform cheek to cheek any country that we go in. And last year in the region, we flew out, it didn't help the bottom line, Dennis, but we flew out 140 people into stores just to hold the trade and hold our volume and hold our market share. And all that's going on, and people coming out of school have those opportunities to knock on our doors, and they are welcome, but you've got to learn to work. We do not pay, and we do not compensate people for failure, you know, and this room is full of success here today. And you know, the opportunities, and I come back to this word opportunities, I never want to be part of an Ireland that people have to go out. I can live with people going out who are qualified, who can learn and can bring their skills back to this country. That's a plus. We're an island race, and we've got to work the old Jewish overseas business to the ground. You know, as Paul Merchant often says to me, how many times we have this battle of Limerick? I said, how many times is necessary, Paul? You know, we're collecting money, we're poor, you know. So look, on that note, I'll leave you, and thank you very, very much for everything.